Thank you very much, Ole, for such a warm welcome, and good afternoon, everybody. Greetings to all of you bloggers, startup entrepreneurs, media representative, and of course to all of you executives from fashion and lifestyle. It's great to reach out to you guys today. We had the pleasure of meeting some of you already, and here in the front row, we were discussing about the digital leader's role and what it takes to lead a company in the digital transformation. Witnessing an extremely importance to deliver questions and answers to this kept us really busy over the last 2 years at Hartmann Consultants. And what we want to share with you is the conclusion, what we have drawn.
Exactly. We would like to tell you about our experience from our work in the last few years and months and what led us to presenting you today what we describe as the digital leader's mindset. I'm excited to hear in other sessions earlier today to learn about how you already used and took the opportunities the digital transformation is offering to add value to your businesses and evolve your companies, and what you personally brought into this success. I'm also very happy to add to that and share our insights, how we test for these skills which are needed in the digital transformation. And from that, we developed our digital leadership audit, which I will explain to you later. So, what is our overall aim for today's session?
Yes, our aim of this session is to describe you the core leadership competencies in mastering the digital transformation and to test for them. Believe us, the finding will surprise you. They certainly surprised us. And we can say that the findings are based on thorough research and on insights, what we gained after running numerous searches and consultation of C-levels. We work closely with HR business partners from our clients, and we have a very close cooperation with an organizational psychologist in Vienna, Norbert Gantner. Norbert, in case you follow us, hello from our side on stage. Consolidating all this information empower us to explain the core leadership competencies which are so crucial to getting on top of this digital transformation. So let's hear where we come from.
Our traditional search process would typically start with a briefing that we receive from a new or existing client who would like us to look for a new position. A key position in the last few months has always been a digital chief marketing officer. After a few weeks in the process, we would then present a short list of the matching candidates who we found and interviewed so far, and everything has run very smoothly up to this point. However, during the presentation stage, suddenly new additional expectations towards the role occur. For example, a board or a company owner is expecting this new position to solve and tackle all the problems of the digital transformation at once. And that is where the bomb goes off. And that led to a huge disappointment sometimes and meant for us redefining the profile and even starting the search from scratch. We felt that this problem was often caused by the lack of a digital mindset in the board. So the solution we came up with was to describe the digital mindset and then establish a way of testing for these competencies. That is what we call the digital leadership audit, which I will explain to you in a second. But before that, how does a typical day of such a leader look like?
Yes, and let's stick to the example of a chief marketing officer in the digital world. And he or she could easily start his or her day with a conference call with the Asian teams. They could be located in Shanghai, Hong Kong, or Korea, Seoul. Kim were just mentioning the amazing pulsating home base of her. And while discussing the latest results of the current advertising campaign they launched, our leader has to show a very strong team empowerment skill and a meaningful communication skill set. And the emphasis is here on meaningful, because this is the framework to lead virtual teams and to embrace their diversity. Pointing out the action plan needed to increase that return on investment of that campaign, our CMO really needs to have analytical and strategical abilities in order to get his teams done and make them more powerful and share their vision and competencies, which are much more important than hierarchical power in order to lead teams across the globe. After finishing the call, our chief marketing officer will rush to a conference like ours in order to give a presentation on the stage about artificial intelligence. Please allow us to share. We had yesterday event called the Hartmann Consultants Privé event, where McKinsey and the Business of Fashion were launching their State of Fashion report about this year. And they are saying artificial intelligence gets real, and leading companies, leading innovators will reveal all the possibilities across the whole fashion supply chain in the future. So to be a competent spokesperson on stage, like we try, this digital marketing officer really needs to show cross-sector knowledge and a natural awareness of implication of core competencies. He might rush back to the headquarters where a Skype call is set up in order to bring a new talent on board for a key role, the data scientist. And we all know recruiting become a central part of companies' digitalization strategies. So our chief marketing officer has to act very operational in this moment and acts as a brand ambassador. So powers of persuasion to win the war for talent is key, what we want to say at this point. After this, he might stay under at his desk, and maybe he do some work, strategic work, administrative work, and might end up his day with an own coaching session. Empower himself will become more and more important, and learning aptitude and personal agility and self-reflection will be key skills in order to grow personal growth. So far, so good. We can say that this manager has not woken up late to the digital transformation and the challenges involved. They are taking, in his company or her company, a very positive, proactive approach to all things digital which affect their business, and they grow both the reputation of the company and their skills. Their mindset and their skills have made it possible for their organization to master the digital transformation, and they have clearly adopted an opportunity strategy instead of a survival strategy. I think we can all think about Otto versus Quelle at this point. So let's look at our digital leadership audit and what does it involve.
It involves auditing a digital leader's mindset. I know this chart is a lot to take in right now. Unfortunately, we don't have the time to go through all the details. However, we wanted you to have a look at it. The surprising news is that those competencies we found and described, you are already familiar with. However, the emphasis and the order and the impact of those competencies have changed dramatically. We divided those competencies into three major fields, as you can see: cognitive, personal, and social competencies. So how do we test for these competencies? And that is where really the heart and the core of our work lies. So our digital leadership audit consists of two parts. The first part is jobfidence, a potential analysis, one of the best you can get on the market with an accuracy of well over 80%, and is developed by Norbert Gantner, who Simone already mentioned. This psychometric test is run on a computer online and is testing for your overall potential, especially in acquiring new skill sets. Combining that with a second part, and that is where the magic comes in and what the specialty about our program is. The second part is an intensive, non-directive interview which can last up to 3 hours and is tailored towards all the competencies we've shown you before in the day of a digital leader. And that face-to-face situation allows us to handle the complexity and to extract the skill set of a person. The result is then a detailed report stating the current level of digital mindset, and that is how we contribute in helping our clients mastering the digital transformation and avoid the bomb going off. So now that we know why this tool has become and proven to be so important for our daily work as strategic executive search consultants, when do our clients assign us to audit?
So we can share with you that our tool has made contribution when companies start increasing their digital awareness, when they start upgrading their level in their company. And then the audit will be used to test the status quo of the digital leader mindset in the current managing board. Also highly important is our tool when a traditional key player acquires innovative startup companies and integrate them in their organization in order to fuel digital knowledge, but also to emulate all the startup qualities like agility, openness, and cooperation. And again, McKinsey's and the business of fashion say startup thinking is one of the trends in the upcoming months. Or we sum it up, every company is a startup now. So we should enjoy and embrace that spirit. And well, we hope you enjoyed our session and the story, how we came up with our Hartmann Consultant Digital Leadership Audit. And we look very much forward sharing your experience on your way in your careers with the digital transformation. So please say hello to us later on. And in the meanwhile, we leave you with 3 appeals. Number 1, think opportunity. Think about all the hidden potentials in your company. Number 2, test, train, and challenge your own digital mindset because it will become tremendously important in your careers. And third, go for growth as you digitalize and enjoy your customers, your teams. And so, yes, thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you.